What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to the 10 keys as to why the Knicks will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. In how many games? 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games? I'm going 5. I'm going 5. To some of y'all may say, why you don't think about the sweep? You should go with the sweep. I'm sticking to my pick, man. And I'm sticking to my standards. And the thing about it is this. The Knicks have a lot of things at play. Knicks fans may argue, is it 5? Is it 4? Is it 6? But I don't think no Knicks fan will argue whether or not the Knicks are going to win this series. The Knicks are definitely on a crash course with destiny. And I'm going to share on this video the 10 keys as to how the Knicks get this thing done and get to the NBA Finals. What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan. And I'm straight out of Kings County, New York, city's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey, welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic night as summertime in New York City continues. But look, before we begin the video, we do have to address the proper formalities. We have to smash that like button. We have to let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And as you enter the building, smash on that like button. I do appreciate y'all support. And while you're at it, you might as well subscribe, because we know that in the last 28 days, well over 50% of you guys watch but are not subscribed. So subscribe now to help us close the gap. And we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Each time we reach a new subscriber milestone, we do have special giveaways. And the first is the 5K giveaway, where we will give away a rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. All you got to do is subscribe. No phone numbers, no emails, no janky websites. Subscribe, and you will automatically be placed in the contest. Man, big time salute to everybody in the building. Once again, it's a beautiful day in New York City. My man Krem's dad in the building early. Killer B in the place to be. All right, Dan Lit, I see you. Knicks will be champs 25-26. Big time salute. Who else is in the building? All right, trapped in the 90s. Okay. My man Zach, I see you. The most optimistic Knicks fan. My man Joe, yo. All right. AP, man, we still cooking with hot grease, man. You know how it goes. So the date and the time is official. This Saturday, we will be at Q Bar in Queens. It's going down. The OKF watch party. If you want to watch the game with me live in person, all you have to do is hit that link tree. Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get that link and I'm going to put it in the chat, so that way you guys can partake in the festivities. All right. It's going to be a movie. First off, Q Bar is a pool lounge. There's pool there. There's drinks. Of course, we're going to be watching the Knicks, and we're going to have a great time, man. Food as well. All right. It's a nice vibe. Salute to my man JJ. He been there. He knows. He said he gonna be there this Saturday. It's fire. So I'm putting it in the chat right now. Typing it in. All you gotta do, hit the RSVP link. Let me know you're coming. All I need is your name and how many people you're coming with. That's it. All right. So also, game 1 is tomorrow of the Eastern Conference Finals. I know it's been a long wait. You know, some of us haven't waited this long in a minute for a playoff basketball game, and it feels good. And so the bottom line is this. Tomorrow we will do the blue and orange brunch, all right, in the afternoon. And then at night, we will do where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? So be on the lookout for that. Of course, where there's smoke, there's fire comes on right after the game. Also, the Pick'ems challenge continues, all right? Salute to all of the channel members in the building who put their picks on the community section. So if you want to be a part of the Pick'ems challenge, you know, we're asking you guys to make your picks, Knicks in 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is, make your pick, and you'll be entered into a contest giveaway. The only 3 ways to make your picks is 1, you can call up. Everybody could call up. Anybody could call up. You could call up and make your pick. Okay, I'll be taking the calls a little bit later in the show. 2, you can send in a super chat or a Cash App, whatever you prefer, right? And you can let me know your pick that way, and I will add it to the list. Or if you are a channel member, in the membership section, I dropped the post there today. All you have to do is go there and write your pick if you can call, okay? That's how you enter the Pick'ems challenge. We already got a whole lot of people, well over 30 people in the building. And yeah, we're looking to add more people. It's going to be a movie, and the giveaways become a little bit bigger and better as we get along in these playoffs. And when we win the championship, oh my God, it's going to be incredible. So today's show, the reason why we're here today is we're here to talk about the Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and why I believe strongly, based off the evidence that I've compiled, there's so much paperwork everywhere. I just said, screw it. I'm just going to make this simple. But I watched a lot of basketball, took a lot of notes, going over stats. You know, I right now the debate isn't will the Knicks win the series. It's how many games will the Knicks win the series, and it's a beautiful place to be in. And I'm truly I'm grateful to be a Knicks fan to witness what we're about to see. All right. So I'm gonna jump into my presentation. I'm gonna go into PowerPoint mode. Bam. All right. And so these are the 10 keys as to why the Knicks will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. So I'm gonna go through a couple of keys and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines. You know, I like to mix it up sometimes. Just makes for a better show. Okay, cool. Let me get back in the PowerPoint. So this is what the presentation is all about. Yes, I got the captions there. I do that. I kind of like it. If you don't like it, let me know. But that's how I'm rocking out tonight. All right. So let me get into the introduction. All right. Series context, why this series is more than winnable. Okay. There's a lot of information that, you know, you could look up all the stats in the world, and you know, you can confirm a lot of things. And I think the truth of the matter is I think these New York Knicks are on a destiny, and they're destined for greatness. And, you know, on their mission, I don't really see no one stifling them at the moment. I mean, you know, you're talking about 2 teams that competed. And I want to start this off by saying this. So all you spooky in the woods Knicks fans, yeah, I'm coming for y'all tonight. If you were the spooky in the wood Knicks fan who said, well, oh, we should drop to the 4th seed so that way we could avoid playing Boston until the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what you guys get. To anybody who said we should drop to the 4th seed, that's what y'all get. No, you never tank. And in the playoff, nothing is guaranteed. You don't know what can happen. You always want to put your best foot forward. And the fact of the matter is the Knicks had the better record than the Cleveland Cavaliers, who settled in at that number 4 spot. We won the number 3 spot, winning as many games as possible to sustain that spot. Now, I told you guys that the Knicks' identity, when people question it, is they are a versatile two-way team that can beat you in a variety of ways. We can play fast. We can play slow. We could get into the paint. We could shoot threes. We could defend. There isn't a style of basketball that this Knicks team isn't fluent in, and this is why I believe in my heart, mind, body, and soul that this Knicks team has more than what it takes to get the job done. Not that regular season differential matters, but the Knicks had the third best differential in the Eastern Conference at plus 6.4. Right now, we do have the best differential out of all of the teams remaining because Boston got cooked in the first round. I mean, embarrassed in the first round, and the Detroit Pistons got sent home in the second round. And it's all sad songs for those guys. We gonna keep the sad music going for those teams. They were never about that life, and we always knew that the Knicks were the best team in the East. By the way, ooh, hold up. I had where was it at? So damn, hold on. Let me see if I can get this. I had an interesting because I do a lot of screen clipping, and sometimes I don't know where I saved it. But Vegas, man, I got it right here. Vegas, I can't show it, but Vegas was on the money. Y'all want to know what Vegas said in the preseason? They said to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers were plus 220. They had the best odds. And guess who had the number 2 odds? The New York Knicks, plus 250. And Vegas called it to a T. Vegas had the Knicks and the Cavaliers in the playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals. And guess where Vegas is right now? Who is the favorite to win, according to Vegas? Right now, the Knicks, when I last checked, now it could change, it could vacillate, but the Knicks were a minus 260 to advance to the NBA Finals. Now, to all my people, we keep going back to 94. When was the last time the Knicks were a favorite to go to the NBA Finals? In the playoffs. I mean, I think that right now, where we are as a franchise, we're not accepting any shortchange, half-baked comments. I think even a lot of the casuals, old media has jumped on board, and they're picking the Knicks to win. And I think that this is going to be a solid, more than solid performance from the New York Knicks. And I believe we're going to show separation in this series. The only thing the Cleveland Cavaliers did better than us during the regular season was points. They scored more points at 119.5. And that's part of the reason why I'm giving them a game. The Cleveland Cavaliers truly are the best offensive team we've seen in the playoffs. I believe I got their numbers here somewhere. Where's the numbers? Okay, right here. So the Cleveland Cavaliers were a 6th-ranked offense. We hadn't faced not one top 10 offensive team. The Philadelphia 76ers, no, they were not. And the Atlanta Hawks for damn sure wasn't, even though they were a top 10 defense. So you're dealing with a team in Cleveland. You can sleep on them if you want. They had a plus 4.1 differential in the regular season. I think that was 4th. I don't think the Charlotte had a better diff. I think the 4.1 was, I could look it up really quickly. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I could get that really fast. But they are a team that, you gotta take them. You gotta take them seriously. Are they? Or am I spooky in the woods and thinking that? Yeah. By the way, they had the 5th best differential behind Charlotte. Charlotte was a plus 5. Yeah, Charlotte came on strong towards the end of the season, right? So they had the 4th best. That's fine. Okay. The 5th best differential. Sorry. Nonetheless, all right. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Knicks, they were projected to meet here, and we're here now. The Knicks won the regular season series 2-1. Does that matter? To all the people who are listening, if anyone tells you, well, the Knicks are going to win the playoff matchup because they won the regular season series, I think you need to go the other direction. I don't think you should be subscribed to people like that. You know, and I would never tell you to unsubscribe from anyone, but I'm just saying, if someone's going to tell you that's the reason why they picked the Knicks, guess again. This playoffs by itself, full of mixed results. We've seen regular season series be 2-2, end up in sweeps in the playoffs, right? We've seen people win the regular season series and get dusted off in the playoffs, like what the Spurs did to the Timberwolves. There is no direct correlation between regular season success and playoffs. So when we look at the regular season, as I will tonight, I'm not looking at the win. I'm looking at the recipe behind the win. I'm looking for trends. I'm not looking for, well, this happened in the regular season, then this automatically will happen in the playoffs. There's certain things that line up and correlate. It's like you got to put together the patterns. And because I do so much research and I take so much notes. And, you know, I could spend a whole day just getting lost in the 82 nights. You know, I just draw all types of patterns that not too many people see because, you know, I'm looking at it from a different lens. But, you know, we got the first 2 games in MSG. Those games are very important. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. When it comes to the playoff numbers, we know what the Knicks are doing historically. I mean, the numbers are insane. I'll touch more on those numbers a little bit later. But some of the strengths that the Knicks have, I'm not going to go through. I got an entire list right here. But I'm just going to say 2 things. Elite offense in the playoffs. We have an offensive rating of 124.8. Do y'all hear me? That's a 124.8. Let me show you what that surplus is when you look at the regular season. Right. So in the regular season, our offensive rating was a plus or was a 119.8. That's a +5. It's a +5. We turned out we were already the 3rd ranked offense. And we added to it. We're a dangerous team. So if you have the Knicks in 4, you could use a lot of the information I'm sharing. I'm just looking at Cleveland and saying, they do got a high-powered offense. They're not like the Hawks, right? Who struggle to score at times. Even though I think we'll shut them down, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have the capability of getting a game or 2. Not 2, a game. I gotta be easy. Whoa. Y'all on edge. Hold on. Let me slow down. And also our defense in the playoffs is elite. So we are elite offense and an elite defense. In the playoffs, y'all ready for this? Our defensive playoff net rating is a 104.8. On the regular season, right, our defensive rating was a 113.3. That is damn near a -9. We are on another level. I don't give a damn about what you say about the competition. We are on another level. All right. Now, there are some concerns and some weaknesses too for the Knicks, but my concerns are not really, I don't think it will cost us the series, but it could cost us a game, you know, if we're not careful. One of my concerns is that we have a short sample size on the double big lineup. They only played 3 minutes together against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were a +3 in that game, but that was it. And that was the game we lost. I'm not blaming it on the double big lineup. Relax. I'm just saying we don't really got a strong sample size. Another thing that I'm going to get to a little bit more in detail a little bit later, we did not shoot the ball well against the Cleveland Cavaliers during the regular season. Now, of course, it didn't stop us from winning 2 out of the 3 games. And you could argue that we stole that Christmas game if you want to. I don't really care about that. I wouldn't debate a Cav fan. To me, it don't matter as long as you get the win. But those are the 2 things off top. There's a couple of more, but I'm just going to stick to that. As far as the Cav side, you know, one of the things about me, I am the objective fan. I am not a Knicks fan. I'm not. I don't believe just because the Knicks do it that they're the greatest ever. I don't believe that. Hold on. Before I get to that, let me Give my man AP a shout. He says, the finals, I actually want to win it. I'm with you, AP, but we take it in one series at a time. Once we get to the finals, I'm going to do my 10 keys as to why we'll dust off whoever's in the finals from the Western Conference. But we got to take it one step at a time. And I feel your pain. And I got you. We're going to get it, AP. I do think that, and I do believe this, and I'm probably going to work on this like tomorrow and Wednesday. But my first article that I'm going to write, besides the This Week Inside the Knicks stuff on my Substack, is going to be we're on the top of the mountain looking down at OKC. All right. I truly believe that. We're on the mountaintop looking down at OKC. That's going to be my first article. It's going to be fire. Because I want to write it now before the finals start. Because I don't want people to think that, oh, well, you wrote that out. No, I'm going to write it before so that way we could look back. See, a lot of my content is for you to go look back at. But I do appreciate your support, AP. All right. Let me get back to where I was at. So the two of the Cavaliers' strengths, the Cavaliers are number one in the playoffs leaderboard, right? In offensive rebound percentage at 35.2%. Believe it or not. Salute to Earl Figgy. She was like, oh, the Cavs ain't rebounding. They got the number one offensive rebounding percentage in the playoffs. I guess another strength I would say, I mean, I talked about their scoring, their ability to score during the regular season, not as much in the postseason because they did go up against two top 10 defenses. You go up against the Toronto Raptors and the Detroit Pistons, it could stifle your numbers a little bit. But that's really it, honestly. Okay, I'll give them this. They do got some good guard creation, especially on pick and roll. James Harden and Donovan Mitchell both can create havoc, off those pick and rolls, passing the ball as well. And we're going to talk more about that later. Now, two weaknesses off rip. If we want to talk about the Knicks net rating, I think we need to talk about the Cavaliers net rating in the inverse. Cleveland's playoff net rating is a minus 1.4. That's a plus 20 difference when compared to us. Because we're at a plus 20. So they are struggling, but they're winning, but they are struggling. It's just two different outlooks on playoff basketball, two different experiences. All right. Another weakness is their turnovers in the playoffs. A lot of turnovers, especially from James Harden. And they run a lot of isolation offense, which is easy to defend. If you run an ISO, that's easy to defend. Because usually when you're running isolation, guys are standing and watching. They are statues. And I do believe that will work to the Knicks' advantage. And once again, the question of this whole presentation is not whether or not the Knicks will win the series. I think most of us, or all of us on here, think that, unless you're a Cavs fan and you just want to hate. By the way, the Cavs fans, y'all weak as hell. I'm just letting y'all know that off rip. Listen, I'm coming for y'all heads. Y'all sending me messages, but y'all don't call up. Tonight is the night. I will open up the phone lines in a minute. I need y'all to call up. All right? But we'll get to that. There's more. I mean, I could spend an hour just sharing information, but I'm going to get to my first key. I think that would be a lot better. So my first key is for us to win the first two games. You got to win the first two games. If you lose one of the first two games, you're in for a long series, especially game two. Salute to all my channel members because y'all was in the building for members only Sundays. And I'm going to talk more about this as well on Game Friday. But there was a study done by the NBA. Or if it wasn't by the NBA, it was a company that was hired by the NBA. Nonetheless, the study was done. And it showed that the rest advantage occurs in game 2. That makes game 1 uber important. You get game 1, you get a little boost in game 2 from rest, not in game 1. The boost comes in game 2. Now, I don't remember the percentages off the top of the head. My bad. But if you win, I think game 1 is like 70 something percent. Game 2, it goes up to just under 80%. Like if you win the first 2 games. If you truly want to sweep this team or end the series early, you got to win the first 2. I just think that it's just too important to win the first 2 games for these New York Knicks. When we're talking about the rest versus the rust, anytime a team gets 5 days or more rest, game 1, the record for teams who get that rest is 113-88. That's a 56.2 win percentage. So, I like to be on the odds of history. Now, some of y'all might say, well, that's not a great advantage, but it's an advantage. You got to take any advantage. And this is the question that I always say when we're talking about rust versus rest. Wouldn't you rather have rested legs versus tired legs? I mean, which one would you prefer? Tired legs, Donovan Mitchell barely can move. Salute to the OKF doctor. All right, my man Juan. He said, oh, the way Donovan Mitchell, his movement is laterally, that ankle or whatever, I think he had some type of leg injury, is really bothering him. Now, I don't think he's on the injury report, and I'm going to go over there really quickly. I don't think he's on the injury report, but, listen, stuff like this changes on the fly. So let me just go there right now and see if he's on there. I don't think he was. I think it was Larry Nance Jr. He had the illness, and then OG. That's it. So Donovan Mitchell's going to play. I didn't read nothing about him going through anything, but he didn't get no opportunity to rest. Whereas we had OG with a prospective game, a grade 1 strain. He will be in the lineup as well. Would you take OG's fresh legs or Donovan Mitchell's tired legs? Now, in terms of the full series for a team that rests 5 days or more, the record is 124-77. That's a 61.7% win rate. Do you accept that? So I'm a history guy. So a lot of times I go into the stats, it's because I just want to see the history of performance. And people get on stats all day, and I'm not the super advanced stat guy like that, but I got to remind you that stats are just a measurement of what happens. If you don't like the stats, it's probably because you're biased. You don't want to believe the numbers because you're fixated and you're captivated by what you see, but the eye test is not enough. Especially if you don't even know basketball. I could have a baby watch basketball all day. Does that mean the baby's going to understand what's happening in the game? But if you love those odds of rest, that is the history of rest. In terms of the Cavaliers, here's another reason why you have to win the first 2 games. I've been saying this all playoffs. Salute to everybody who follows me. The Cavaliers are the worst road team in the NBA in the playoffs. Terrible. Okay? They lost every road game to Toronto, and magically they won 2 road games against the Detroit Pistons. But this team is not someone that has a proven track record. They couldn't win in Orlando a couple of years ago, right? Where Cleveland thrives is at home. So our goal going to Cleveland should be to be up 2-0, because now it puts pressure on them at their own home building. Salute to everybody who was in the building earlier. I did a show talking about Cleveland's measures to protect their home court by restricting Knicks fans from trying to get in the building because they want to protect the sanctity of this home court that they have. All right. Coupled with the fact, if you look at the regular season, team has won every game that was at home. Of course, we're not saying that means that the postseason is definitely going to go that way, but both of these teams seem to thrive at home. So if I'm the Knicks, I need to continue to put the pressure on the Cleveland Cavaliers in these first two games. They are 12-6 at home since 2024. One of the best home records in the playoffs for a playoff team in that last 3 year span. All right. They went 4-2 in all 2024, right? They in 2025, that was the off year when they lost to Miami. No, I'm sorry, not lost to Miami, when they lost to Indiana. They went 2-3 in that playoffs, but 2 wins at home, right? And then in 2026, they're 6-1 at home this year. So the goal is to put the pressure on them to try to have to win these home games. And now you go into a game 3 after you done. Hopefully, you dismantled them in game 2, and now, they're trying to regroup, and you could continue to put the pressure on them. But part of the reason why I'm going Knicks in 5 is because I think they can get a home game. I think that this team can score. Now how well they will score, I think that they will be impacted by our defense, but I think one game they can get. They won games at home in tough scenarios. Against Detroit. They beat Toronto, so they are a team that could get a win. Also, too, you could argue that they played the best competition in Detroit than we did. As bad as Detroit was, you have to attribute that some of what Cleveland was doing. But, the Detroit Pistons still were a 60-win team. If we could laugh at them, no, Detroit, all of that. But if I had to pick between Detroit, not Toronto, Cleveland, not Cleveland, Detroit, who we beat? Philadelphia, and the other team, the team I forgot, the Atlanta Hawks. There you go. I'm picking Detroit. I think Detroit is a better team than both of those teams. And Detroit has a better defense than both of those teams, for sure, 100%. Now, they are foul bait, and they're going to hack you, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are battle-tested, but I think to get in these first 2 games at home matters. Now, some of y'all may disagree with that statement. You can, but I don't think you should debate everything. I think some things you should concede, especially when you have your eyes on the bigger picture. Another area that I think that is very important is going to be the 3-ball. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I got everything out on that first point, because I take so much notes and I don't be saying everything, man. Okay. So, all right, cool. So the 3-ball efficiency is key. What do I mean by the 3-ball efficiency is key? Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers is the worst 3-point defense in the NBA playoffs. You probably, if you want to say, if you want to look at their performance compared to everyone, else, yeah, I'm picking the field against them. The worst 3-point defense. I'm gonna give you the numbers. Hold on, as I go through these mountains of stats that I got. But they are giving up. Let me explain it. See, this is why I give you stats with context, right? When you watch the games and you put the stats together, you start to come up with certain conclusions, right? So they gave up 37.3% in 3 balls, all right, to the opponent. But who did they play? They played the Detroit Pistons, who can't shoot a 3 to save their life. And they played against the Toronto Raptors, who, yes, they were shooting the ball a little bit better, but they're not a 3-point assassin team like that. The Toronto Raptors, I got the numbers. The Toronto Raptors were shooting 35% from 3 on the year. And they gave up to Detroit, who barely could shoot, and Toronto 37.5% or 37.2% from 3. That's terrible. They have a terrible three-point defense. You see, that's stats with context. That's watching the games, looking at who they're playing, and then putting the stat together. All right? Whereas if you look at who the Knicks play, we giving up 37.3%, and that's a concern of mine. Our three-point defense is still but when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, they were on fire. The Atlanta Hawks, they're fifth in three-point shooting at 37.1%. Okay? Yeah. So we going up against teams that actually shoot the three ball well. All right? Let me see the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers wasn't a good shooting team, but we ran them off the floor. But the Atlanta Hawks were a good three-point shooting team. So, we're giving up to 37%. We played more games against Atlanta. I take that. All right. Now the Cavs are or were in the regular season definitely a top tier three-point shooting team. It's one of the things that they, that's what they do. Okay. And I got the numbers right here. Well, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but they're still top 13 in three-point percentage at 36%. I take that. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Let's look at the post All-Star game numbers. All right. The post All-Star game, about 36.3% they were shooting. Slightly better. So where they going to get you, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but let me just stick to our three ball. All right. Now, our three ball is a very important weapon because we're picking our poison. We put a little bit more focus into like a diverse attack. We're only shooting 32 threes a game. That's it. But we are making 13, which in these playoffs are more than what Cleveland is shooting at 12.6. But even though our attempts dropped, our efficiency, it soared, right? We went from 37.3% in the regular season plus 3% at 40% in the playoffs. The three ball is where it's at, if you ask me. I think that, I'm not saying the bomb barrage shooting threes. That's not my take at all. But the Knicks have the propensity to shoot open threes. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that stat up really quickly. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I got too much windows, man. One thing about me, I get stat crazy. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, let's smash that like button. All right. If you just joined the show, this is the 10 keys as to why the Knicks are going to beat the Hawks in 5. All right. So smash that like button if you hadn't already. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed. This is OKF Nation, man. I'm here twice a day, every day. So make sure you subscribe so that way you won't miss out on no content, man. I'm the quick Knicks fix, man. All right. So big time salute to everybody in the building. Also, Pal Diaz, I see you. What's good, family? Hopefully you're having a great night. I mean, the weather in New York City is fabulous, man. It's fire. I like the warm weather. I don't like it too hot, but I do like the warm weather more than I like the cold weather. So I take whatever the hot weather gives me, and then we're gonna just keep it moving from there. All right. Okay. All right. So okay, I got it right here. So I had a stat. I presented this. It was that one show I said I got the 2 stats I want to share. I took that straight from my presentation today. When it comes to tight defense, right? The Knicks have the best 3-point shooting percentage with defenders within 2 to 4 feet at 42%. 5 attempts a game. We also was leading in corner threes too. I don't have that number. I don't know where the hell I put it, but we have been shooting pretty efficiently. And I think that we need to continue getting those corner shots, hitting those tough shots when we need it. I mean, we got some tough shot makers. Not that we're taking a lot of these shots. It's just that the Cavs are trash. I'm keeping it real. They are terrible when it comes to 3-point defense. They let the Pistons and the Raptors shoot 37% in the playoffs. Usually in the playoffs, you're supposed to shoot a little bad. or worse because the defense is supposed to be tight. But no, their defense is just not that good. Um, you know, they have, they got guys who tried like Struess and Merrill, but they're just food, man. And I think we need to keep it going. Whether it's the 2-man game, the 3-man game, flex options, corner threes, hitting the corners fast. I just expect us to continue the bombs away. And this will be my last key, and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Another key I would say, and I think that this is very important. You got to protect the ball and move the ball. Two things. You have to protect the ball and move the ball. In these playoffs, right, the Knicks have doing a great job in forcing turnovers in these playoffs. Believe it or not, that's not really the forcing the turnovers. Wasn't really our style. That was more of Atlanta Hawk thing. But we're at forcing 14.9 turnovers a game, about 15. All right, and that's a slightly more than what we did in the regular season. At just the low 14s. So we're taking an initiative to try to get some easy shots, points off turnovers, and I think that we're doing a phenomenal job defensively. Balance, like a really good balanced defense. We're protecting the paint, and we're doing a lot of good things defensively. But on the flip side, right, because we're talking about offense right now, in terms of protecting the ball in these playoffs, the Knicks are doing a solid job, man. Turnovers is something I was concerned about, especially going up against Atlanta, because they thrived in forcing turnovers. But we're only at 13.7 turnovers a game. That's right around our season average. And so as long as we continue to protect the ball, the Cleveland Cavaliers are a team that thrives off turnovers, but in these playoffs, the Cavaliers aren't forcing turnovers. Now, in the regular season, right, the contrast, the Cavs actually did a good job or a decent job at forcing turnovers. They were top 10 in forcing turnovers with 15 a game, okay? And they're not a steals team, but they do a lot of, sometimes they play zone. They'll do things to try to pressure the defense. We seen Struess trying to defend 94 feet against the Detroit Pistons. I thought that was kind of crazy because he normally does not do that. But at the same time, they were very crafty, and in the postseason, not so much. And I'm wondering if not having, Garland wasn't really playing no damn defense like that either. I don't know. I don't know why they dropped off like that, because it's not like Detroit is an efficient team. So you see, I'm basing it on your matchups, right? Like Detroit is somebody who definitely, I wouldn't say that they are pillars for protecting the ball, right? And you can't force them to turn the ball over. That right there to me, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Then the same thing with the Toronto Raptors. They didn't have their point guards, right? So they wasn't doing their normal job consistently forcing turnovers, but they did force turnovers in the games they won. Hold on, I'm just trying to find that, because you see, you may not do it for the entire series, but all you have to do is just do it for the games you win. Like, let's say if I need to get the win, like, for example, okay, cool, I got you, right? So in games 3 and 4, right, they forced 16 turnovers for the Detroit Pistons and 20 turnovers. So, yeah, they didn't do it the entire series, right? The only other time that the Pistons got that many turnovers was actually game 6, which is the game they won. But those 2 games, they went into their regular season DNA, and they was able to get some transition buckets out of those, turnovers from the Detroit Pistons. So this is a team that, yes, The numbers show that they're not doing it as much, but they're doing it in key moments in time that can definitely hurt your team. I'm going to give you another one against the Toronto Raptors. Now, of course, the Toronto Raptors did not have their point guard, but in their worst turnovers games, which was game 1 and 2, which was the first 2 games of the series that they lost. It took them a while to settle down. They had to go home to settle down. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are a terrible road team. So here's my logic, too, to bring it back to the first point, then I'm going to get to the phone lines. If the Cleveland Cavaliers could not win in Toronto, why should they even think about winning in New York? All right, let's hit the phone line, 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. All right, we still cooking with hot grease. Smash that like button if you hadn't already. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Was I in PowerPoint mode? My bad. These were the last 2 slides I was at. All right, hold on. My bad if I wasn't in PowerPoint. Okay, at 3-ball efficiency. Okay, y'all want to take a screenshot? Y'all could. Then I was here to protect the ball and move the ball. All right. So those are my first 3 keys. And the first key was win the first 2 games. All right. All right. Just keep it in nice and simple. No super advanced stats, none of that. Eye test and some stats. Call up 646-995-8389. Curious to know your thoughts. Get these phone lines. Make sure the phone lines are cracking right now. All right. Bam. All right. If you want to talk, call up 646-995-8389. Also, if you didn't give your pick, you can call up to give your picks tonight. Tomorrow, to all the people who call and you're not a channel member, that will be the only time you can make your pick for the record. All right. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion, take a peek in the live chat to see what's going on. 40X Scope, I see you. Truth be told, what's good? Cleo, hey, what's up? J-Tap Mob in the building. All right, I see y'all. See y'all. Who else is up in here? 40X Scope. Okay, y'all having a good time. Y'all having a good time. Matter of opinion, my man Waltz P. Yeah, call up if y'all want to talk, man. I see the OKF doctor, my man Juan in the building. All right. I see you talking about Mitchell's injury. Yeah, call up 646-995-8389. All right. I'm going through these keys. I just want to give y'all an opportunity to speak. My man Knicks will be champ says, I see you. Okay. Ooh. Who they took over Frank Ntilikina. That's deep. Yo, Knicks will be champs, man. You solid, man. You always got something deep to say. All right. And smash that like button as well. Hold on. Where's my phone? Yeah, but y'all could call up, though, if y'all want to talk. A lot going on. Oh, it's right here. To the side. A lot going on. The Cleveland Cavaliers, man. You know, they are a good offensive rebounding team if in the playoffs, not overall. But if I had to pick something that I would say they're better than us at, you know, right now I would give them possibly the offensive rebounding. But, you know, that's just stats against other teams. You know, when we go up against each other, you know, that could be a whole lot different, you know. But yeah, looking at these stats, they get to the free throw line a little bit more. That's really it. They shoot more threes. I mean, you know, all of the advanced stats you would give to us, there's not too many stats that lean Cleveland's way. You know, when you're talking about points in the paint, opponent points in the paint, I mean, you could go through the whole list. We dominate Cleveland in pretty much every stat. All right. Let me just check the line. All right. If y'all want to listen to me go through the keys, I will. I don't got a problem with that. Hold on. Let me get back to my PowerPoint mode. All right. And if you do call up, when I take the next little intermission for calls, I'll get to it. All right. Let me get to my next key. All right. Where the hell is my talking points? Oh, yeah. Yo, if y'all see my desk right now, I got so much pages and books, and it's crazy right now. All right. So my next key is something that a lot of y'all are going to like. Bam. Use Towns to set up the guards. Why am I saying that? Use Towns to set up the guards. So the reason why I'm saying that, let me get to my competition. Cool, my head-to-head matchup. The reason why I'm saying that is because when you look at the plus minus of those who played against the Cleveland Cavaliers, mostly guards, all of the guards are pluses. Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson, Tyler Kolek in that one game he played on Christmas Day. All of those guys are huge pluses across the board on their season stats. Now, Landry Shamet played 2 games. He's a minus 13.5. Brunson kind of was like the same. Like Brunson didn't really, his numbers didn't go up against Cleveland. But all of these other guards made a difference. So now we're going up against a team with a limited offensive bag, so to speak. And no, I'm sorry, defensive bag. My fault, not offensive bag. But the guards, like Mikal Bridges is a plus 0.9. He's shooting 40% from 3 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Deuce only played the 1 game, but he had 15 in that 1 game, 57.1% from the field, 66% from 3. This is going to be a guard series once again. I said that about Philadelphia. I think that this will be a guard series. It'll be our guards versus their guards. You know, on their side of the track, none of their guards are pluses, not even Donovan Mitchell. Harden only played 1 game, wasn't a plus. So the guards on our side, and when I say plus, I'm talking about scoring compared to their regular season average. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about plus minus. All right. All right. Now, Towns did not score well against the Cleveland Cavaliers during the regular season in 3 games. He only averaged 14.7 points. His rebounds went down to 10.7, right? He only averaged 1.7 assists. He had more turnovers than assists at 3.3. So to me, this is going to be Towns' redemption arc against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? He didn't have the best regular season. So in saying that, you know, Karl Anthony Towns, the new hub approach, where, okay, we don't need you to score, big fella, like that. If you could get the other guys involved, and because the guards are cooking and they really do not have an answer for none of our 3-point shooters, you know, you need to get busy. And I think Towns will. You know, Towns at the elbow, top of the key, where he likes to be. You know, flex option, back cuts. Cleveland has no answer for none of that, man. I mean, I was watching Asar Thompson kill them in the dunker spot. Tobias Harris killed them in the dunker spot. Sometimes even Green, even though I wouldn't say he killed them because he wasn't that consistent, but, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, they definitely were prone to getting killed in that dunker spot. You know what I'm saying? Because the Cavaliers will overhelp. They will double. They will blitz at times as well. I just don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers do a good job at it. You know, I would not put them out there as one of the top tier, you know, defenses out there. But, you know, Towns, you know, he definitely stepped his game up in the postseason with 17.4 points per game, 10 rebounds, but the 6.6 assists, shooting 58.7% from the field. See, that right there in the regular season as well. He shot his decent numbers from the field, pretty much the same, 50%, but his three ball was down. So even if Towns is not scoring, he got to maintain the three ball because that is the key number. What was that? Number 2, which was the three ball, or key number 3 was the three ball. So Towns has to help on that. You know, yes, you may not be shooting as much as you did in the regular season, big fella, but we're going to need you to be efficient. And I think he will. But Allen and Mobley are really good paint defenders, right? They do a good job protecting the paint. I got to give them credit for that. Even though in the playoffs against the Pistons and the Raptors, two teams that love to attack the paint, you know, the Cavs paint defense saw some cracks in it for sure. In the paint, in the playoffs, so trying to make sure I'm looking at the right now. I got mad numbers here. The Cleveland Cavaliers gave up 48.7 points. In the second half post All-Star break of the season, they were at 44.3. That's a plus 4.7 paint points. So their paint points were compromised because they went up against the number 1 paint team in Detroit. That's all they do is attack the paint. So we have been looking to get our groove on in the paint, attacking a little bit more in these playoffs. We are at 53.6 paint points. So that's going to be a clash right there. But in the meantime, we got to get our guards rolling. Plus, you add Jalen Brunson, I think he will shoot better. Jalen Brunson only shot 35% from 3, 33% from the field against the Detroit Pistons. I mean, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh my God. Anyway, so I anticipate, you know, Towns running the offense. But check this out. Here's the major key that I want to share. With Towns as the hub in the last 7 games, the Knicks offensive rating is a 130.5. Do you hear me? A 130.5. So y'all remember that number I gave you earlier? You remember that number I gave you earlier? What was it? It was a 124 or something like that. Hold on. Too many damn numbers I'm looking at, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, it was a 124.8. So add another 5 to that. Or another 6. Add another 6 to that. That's how the offense is functioning. So our offense is going to be at a higher level with Towns as the hub. And that will be one of the major keys to victory because I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers have a defense for it. They're not really a passing lane steals team. That's not their game. That's not how really they force turnovers. So, you know, we'll see what Towns does. I'm going to do this one next key, and I'm going to get to the phone lines because I see some people call. My next key, and I think this was a key in all of the series, is some rebounding going to be attached to it. Rebounding is probably top 5 most important aspect of basketball. Got to rebound. You want to win, you got to get on them boards. Or you got to be more prolific at those other 4 things. But you know, the battle of the boards is always going to be a key denominator for this Knicks team because it was something that helped carry us through throughout much of the regular season. You know, in this series, head to head. Well, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Okay, let's do it like this. In the regular season, the Cleveland Cavaliers are an 11th ranked rebounding team. They average about 44.4 rebounds overall. I was checking their temperature in the second half of the regular season. They were averaging about the same 44. So a consistent 44 in the regular season. But in the playoffs, they're a -2. They kind of fell off the trap a little bit. Once again, Orlando Magic is a tough paint type of oriented team. So that can also, you know, cut into your rebounding capabilities, so to speak. But we know the New York Knicks are a prolific rebounding team. We're a +2 on them at 44.7 rebounds. The key thing, though, is the defensive rebounding. We know that the Cleveland Cavaliers, well, I told you earlier that they have the best offensive rebounding percentage in the playoffs, right? And they average 12.1 offensive rebounds a game. So I feel the most important battle is going to be on our defensive glass and their offensive glass, especially if we're defending well at the 3-point line, which is something that I hope that we can do. But honestly, the 3-ball doesn't really hurt us. I mean, Cleveland shot really good against us in the regular season from 3. Let me see if I get that number for y'all really quickly. They shot really good. So, and we won 2 out of the 3 games. Yes, we did steal the Christmas Day game. I mean, yes, we kind of did, if you want to say that. But they shot 40% from 3 against us in the regular season. All right. So we don't need them getting second chance opportunities. See, when they get second chance opportunities, they are putting up 3s. Do you understand me? They're getting up about 37.1 in the postseason. In the regular season, they were at just under 40. So their 3s are down a little bit, but they're still getting up 37.1%. You can't allow these guys to get second chance 3s. I'm telling you, okay? It'll be a problem. Now, I'm not spooky in the woods. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just letting y'all know where this team is prolific at and when they're not. You know, in the playoffs, okay, wow, they only dominated the rebound. And here's another caveat to the rebounding too. Just because you win the rebounding battle doesn't mean you're gonna win the game. But in 2 of their wins, they did dominate the rebounding matchup. But they definitely were hitting the offensive glass. Check this out. In the last 3 games against Detroit, they won 2 out of the 3. They had 14 offensive rebounds, 16 offensive rebounds, and 13 offensive rebounds. So when the game is in the flux and they need to hit them boards, Allen and Mobley are definitely capable, and James Harden too is not a bad rebounder. So we gotta box out. And we got to make sure when we get in stops, we complete the play by getting the rebound. Towns is one of the best defensive rebounders in basketball. I think we'll be fine in this area, but it is something that I am, I'm taking a special note at, because Cleveland, that's how they was able to get Detroit in a couple of those games, by getting on that offensive glass, getting some second chance 3s. And Allen and Mobley are more than capable of going back up and finishing. Okay. Just trying to make sure I get everything out that I wanted. Also, the possession game. This is about controlling possessions as well. You got to control the possessions against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are a team that is capable of playing at a faster pace, even though in the playoffs, we're playing at a faster pace than Cleveland, believe it or not. But in the regular season, they were just under 100 in terms of possessions per 100. Okay. That's all that pace is, by the way. Ball movement. Okay. You get opportunities on our end too. On our end, second chance opportunities makes it a lot easier, of course. Am I looking at the wrong key? Yeah, definitely was. Key number 5. Hold on. Oh yeah, no. Boom. Yeah, rebounding priority. Okay, defensive rebounding, physical. Okay, cool. All right, pretty much. So I'm going to get back to the phone lines. If I miss your call, I'm going to call you back right now. These are the 10 keys as to why the Knicks will win in 5 games. Big time salute to everybody in the building. Continue to smash that like button if you just joined the show. All right. I'm still cooking with hot grease. I got 10 keys as to why we going to win, man. Oh, are the Spurs winning? Uh-oh. Are the Spurs winning? What's going on with that? I'm going to watch that on replay. And while you're at it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right. Do appreciate all of y'all in the building. Hold on. Let me get back. All right. So let me get to the phone lines. 646-995-8389. I'm going to take a couple of calls. If you didn't make your pick yet, this will be the opportunity to make your pick. Okay. And let's see who we got. Okay, we got my man Ty, got Blue. So you guys could call up. If I missed your call, I am doing callbacks. All right. 646-995-8389. If you are there, Ty, calling you back. Uh-oh. What's up, Ty?
Yo, what's up, fam?
Nothing much, man. Going through these 10 keys.
You said you're not a Knicks fan earlier? You said you're an objective fan?
No, I am a Knicks fan. I'm the objective Knicks fan. I said that I
Oh,
misspoke.
yeah, you did. But I messaged you though, but in the chat. But the other thing I want to say is, you bringing up a lot of stats about the regular season, Karan. That Knicks team is dead and gone. That Knicks team is dead and gone, bro. So although the stats were what they were in the regular season, none of that correlates to what's going on right now. Like when I sit here, like I'm a person that, as long as the Knicks win, we win. We just got to win dominant, convincingly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a lot of people just sound a little spooky, man, and I just, I don't know. I just feel like.
Well, you see, did you see what I did though? I made the correlation between regular season, the second half of the regular season, mostly, and the playoffs.
Yeah,
and I'm going based on whether or not they improved or they didn't improve. And then I'm looking at the actual series. So I'm not just looking at regular season stat. You sound like you're triggered, sir. You sound like you're triggered.
No, I'm not triggered at all. I'm really in peace right now because tomorrow is here. I'm just a little baffled by a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, here's the thing.
What's up?
Even with that, they padded their stats playing against a sorry Detroit team. Toronto, that was different. But the rebounding during the game, during the series, they kept talking about how poor Detroit rebounds. And that's when Cleveland. But when Cleveland out rebounded them, Cleveland won the game. So we're talking about a team that's inept in a lot of areas, man. Look.
But you didn't hear me say that? I said that. I said we're better than them in every stat besides free throws. And I said that.
Yeah. So, bro, I'm not calling for smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I'm not calling for that. I'm calling,
I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up.
Just to chime in, like I said, I'm in peace right now.
Ty, could you blame me? Because last night you was getting on everybody who said Knicks in 6 and all of that. So I'm going Knicks in 5.
You know what? You know me, right? I always come back, and I even put it in the chat. I was like, well, basically, you know what? All I wanted was all of us to say Knicks in 4. I wanted that type of energy to trickle over to our team. I didn't want no doubt. Even if we all ended up wrong and they went in 5, it would be fire for all of us to have picked sweeping them. I'm just on a high with the Knicks, bro. So
I got you.
And at the end of the day, I think people are picking to be right. I don't think people are picking because they, I think people want to be right. Like, oh, I said in 5, or I said in 6, or I said in 7. We ain't picking. Like, come on. Like, everybody's right in their own site. I get it, but nah.
Well, remember, this is the objective perspective. We the objective of Knicks fans, so they gonna be objective in their takes.
Every fan is gonna. All of us are objective, but it doesn't mean that we have to see. Being objective is one thing, right? But if you're delusionally objective, that's another thing. Like,
what does that mean?
When we being like you're delusional to be objective. That's what it means. You're delusional just to be objective. You're not really going off of what you're looking at. You're going off of how you feel, what you think. Well, no, the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks would beat the Cavs like that. And this is what the Knicks are hearing. And I can't wait to sit back and chew my popcorn when Donovan and them look like they've never seen a team like this all year long, because that's what's about to happen. And everybody's going to say, well, yeah, we want that. Well, then pick it, fam. But I'm not on people about picking, man. Last night was fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was trolling last night. Yeah, I was trolling last night because at the end of the day, I just wanted all of us just to pick the Knicks in 4, just to send that spirit out there, send that powerful energy out there to let them know. But it's all good. 5, 6, 7, as long as we get to the next round, healthy, that's all that matters to me, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I tried. Listen, I listened to you and Dr. Juan, and I'm like, oh, man, they make me want to go 4. But
no. You was never going to go 4. You was never going to go 4.
I strongly considered it because when I'm doing these stats, right, like all of the numbers really point to, it's like 95.9% of the numbers point to us. Like, seriously. Like, I'm not just saying that because I'm just trying to be the super Nick guy. No, I went through all of the numbers, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the net rating. I mean, it's just so much. It's just too much.
And that's what I'm saying. We're afraid to. You talk about the analytics. You talk about the numbers. You talk about going off of not just the eye test. And even when the Knicks give you that, we still not going with it. We still not going with it. Even when the Knicks is telling you on paper and by the eye, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are that dominant team. We still don't believe it. We'd rather play OKC so we can say, okay, beat us, and we lost to OKC. There's a lot of people
going. Ooh, that's deep. Ooh.
Fam.
That's deep. That's deep right there. We'd rather play OKC so we can say, well, it was OKC. They beat. Ooh, that's deep.
Because Knicks fans are so tired of losing. I don't see nobody. I'm like Carmelo right now. I don't see nobody. There's not a team constructed like the Knicks. Every team has flaws, but they can't find the Knicks' flaws right now because we switched it up at the right time. They don't have time. So we'll see. Salute to you, bro. I just called in, man. I just called in to tap in with you. I'm not triggered, bro. I
was a little nervous because I said Knicks at 5. I was like, uh-oh, he gonna be coming for me.
No. I told you last time. I knew you was gonna say 5 or 6. I knew that. I knew you wasn't.
No, I was never close to 6, only because I was looking at a lot of numbers and the numbers screamed the Knicks. Like, seriously, like I could never go 6. It's just, I honestly think it could happen in 4. I'm just giving Cleveland the respect because I know they could go off, and I feel like when they get home, they might get one of those games. I don't know if it's going to be a 3 or 4, but I can see that happening.
Guess what? I think when we put our foot on their neck in the first 2 games, the Knicks going to blow them out, bro. The Knicks are going to blow them out in the game 1. Game 2, Cleveland's going to be desperate. They're going to overexert themselves. By game 3, they're going to have nothing left. That's what happened to Philly. That's what happened to Atlanta. Listen, the formula remains the same. Who do we guard? How do we guard them? The Knicks is the only team left in the playoff that can beat you in all ways possible, man. Right. And that's what I'm sticking with. All right, y'all. Salute to the chat, man.
Big time salute.
Love all y'all. You know what? Okay, if Nation stand up, tomorrow's our day. Come on, get us 100%. Pumped up for tomorrow.
That's what I'm doing.
Go next, man.
I got the 10 keys, baby. All right, big time.
All right, family.
All right. Hey, man, listen, I'm giving y'all the building blocks to take to your job, and when the people, and that's one thing I like about on this channel that I'm trying to do. When they say like, oh, this Knicks team is the same, and oh, that Knicks team, this Knicks team is not the same. It's just so much history we've made already, and we hadn't even won the championship yet. One of the most dominant teams in NBA history. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. I do expect the dominance to continue. If we get the sweep, I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm just making my official pick 5 games. I was never at 6 games. I really was a battle to be 4 or 5 games, but as the objective fan, I never predict the sweep. I don't know. I just don't, I don't want my official prediction to be that. I could say my energy's in 4 games. And I think that is a strong possibility that would happen. But would I bet that? Probably not. 646-995-8389. Call up. Voice your opinion. All right. And we're talking about the 10 keys as to how the Knicks will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yo.
What's good, Blue? How you feeling, family?
Yo, what's up, man? I was just listening to I think that was your guy Ty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we all familiar with the art of war. You can't underestimate your opponent. Because because you want to be able to understand them, but without fear. And then right. once you understand your opponent, you need not fear the result. So, it's just about whether or not we go 5 or 6. It's just like, yo, look, what the result is going to be. Knicks win, right. But still, you got to respect these guys because, Vegas odds had this in terms of whether or not this was going to be the Eastern Conference Finals. So These were the 2 best teams that were going to inevitably end up where they are right now. So you got to put some respect on their name. I'm not saying over-respect them or overstand them, just, put them in their proper place. You know what I mean? Right. But, in terms of whether or not how this is going to play out, Towns, he's going to see a different, aspect now. you know, he's not going to be looking over the defense. You're going to have these two big dudes, you know what I mean, relatively good defenders. So he's going to have to approach the game differently. You know, also, whether or not OG's hamstring is 100% or not, you know, you're gonna have to dial him back a little bit in the first couple minutes of the game. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to see, all right, well, look, if OG is, you know, whether or not he's 80, 90%, you're gonna have to put Landry in the game, which is gonna change up the strategy how Cleveland is gonna play you. They're gonna have to go small. They're not gonna be running their bigs out there all the time the way they have their starting lineup. They're gonna have to stagger their bigs in terms of they're gonna have to match Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? This is all for real chess game now. Now this is where Mike Brown is gonna earn his stripes, whether or not he's gonna really get this respect that he's of this Knicks fan base, whether or not he can really outcoach this guy Kenny Atkinson, right? Or whatever, however you say his name. You know what I mean? I don't care about them, but I'm just saying he's gonna have to show his chops here. He's going to have to really outcoach him, strategize him, out-strategize him, and then we're going to see where this really ultimately lays. Now, whether it is 5 or 6, I do believe, like, Vegas does have this at, you know, whatever they have it, I believe, what is it, minus 270, minus 260?
Yeah, around that.
Right?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah. So, you know, look, man, Knicks are going to win the series. I got them at 6. That means they're going to have to win in Cleveland, which is what they did in all of these previous, you know, first and second round. But in terms of winning it, you know, on the road.
Oh no, you had Knicks in 6. I was going to ask you want to change your pick, but yeah, you good.
No,
so you good.
We good.
Okay.
I'm 10 toes down, but you know, Knicks in 6. Mantra stands. 100%. Let's go. Let's go Knicks, baby.
I appreciate you, Blue man. Have a great one.
You too, man.
All right. If y'all want to talk, y'all can. 646-995-8389. Hold on. Let me get back to these keys. What I was looking at, right? Because I forgot to make note of this. For all my double big lineup people, I just want to say this. Mobley and Allen, they play together 15 minutes, right? In the 11 games they played. So they do get a good amount of time. Will Mitchell Robinson and Towns get half that? They won't get the same amount. That'll be something to see. But like I said, that's a concern of mine. We never really got a chance to see, you know, what that lineup or what that would be with the double big lineup. They only played 3 minutes together against Cleveland, and they were a +3, but we did lose that game. Not to say that the reason why we lost is because of them. I'm not going to say, let me get my man Juan really quick before I get back to the slides. What's good, Juan?
Hey, how you doing? Give me a second.
I'm doing good, man. Everything's good, Dr. Juan, man. Hopefully everything's great with you.
Everything's good. Thank you so much. You caught me by surprise, picking up right away.
Yeah. I was about to switch, but I know you got something good to say. So I said, let me get my man Juan in the building. What's up?
Not much. I hear your arguments, and they're valid, man. I completely agree with you. It could go to 5. I'm still keeping it on 4, and not because I'm a Knicks fan, but I see those. The Cavs average only 6.5, if I'm correct, 6.5 points per transition, or again on transition. That's not that much. And the Knicks actually average way more steals and points in transition. I think it was between 18 and 20. So to me, that is one of the main points to the Knicks' advantage. Another thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. The only game that the Cavs scored more than 50% field goal during that series with the Pistons was on games 5, if I'm correct. Only 58%.
Right here. By the way, I'm not sure if you were saying points off turnovers. They at 17.7. We're at 18.6. Transition. You said transition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of what you just asked about the
field goal percentage in total.
Oh, in which game? You said the last game?
The last series. I think they only actually did one I'm correct. You can correct me if I'm wrong. One game only game 5, they actually did 58%. The other games were like between 39
one
to
game was
40, 45.
58%. Yeah, one game was 58%. The other game was game 7 at 50%.
So that actually shows inefficiency, right? Even though they are a good team and they got good offensive players, but the inefficiency is there.
Right.
I believe the Knicks, their field percentage in both series was more than 50%, if I'm correct. So to me, that combined with the transition points, which we excelled at, and points of turnover, didn't we do like 2022, if I'm correct? Again,
yeah, I said it was 20. I think it was hold on. I got too many damn stats. Hold on. It was oh no, it was on this page. Really quickly, points off turnovers for the Knicks is in the playoffs is 18.6.
80.6, which isn't good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's solid.
You know,
it's solid. More than what they did in the season, for sure.
That's right. Which means that the defense too. So, to me, the fact that they have been more efficient in both series, not just being 1 or 2 games, but then with exception of the games 2 and 3, and that gives me more confidence that they're going to win in 4. However, like I said, that they could go to 5 if OG doesn't play one of those games.
Oh, that's a good one. Nobody said that.
That is the only way that I can see it going to 5, to be honest with you. Being objectively.
10 yeah, no, that's a good point.
And one last, because I know, speaking of injuries, Mitchell doesn't have to be on the injury list. Doesn't have to be affected. Look at Kate couldn't even run. Kate couldn't run, and he wasn't on the injury list.
100%.
The way I saw it was Mitchell was not able to move. When he does the moonshot, he wasn't able to lift up, and he was missing it.
Right.
He was missing a lot of layups, man.
Yeah, he was. You can't do it against us. Oh my God.
No. So to me,
they definitely won't win a game.
That is one big factor as well, the health. If you saw again, this is my last point, and I'll move on. If you saw Allen's face, he wasn't happy. And then at the post game interview, he didn't look happy. He looked like, oh God, here we go again.
Mitchell Robinson.
So, exactly. So their confidence is not really there. They can resort to talk and say in this, oh, you're not gonna have a good game. Oh, here we come. You're gonna see a real team. No, it's just talk.
Right, I'm with you.
But anyways, those were my points, so I can stick to my 4.
Okay.
Mixing 4.
No problem.
And like I said, the only one will be 4 if OG doesn't play.
Yeah, the only reason why I say they could win one is because I think that they'll get one game where they will shoot well.
Oh yeah, happens.
But besides that, everything else you're saying, like all of the keys I'm saying, you could use it to say Knicks in 4. Like I'm not completely like off base with y'all. You know, I'm just trying to give them some sort of respect.
That's a professional team in the ECF, of course. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, but realistically, when you look at the numbers, like you said, Juan, we're better in mostly every category. Like
it's the consistency.
That part.
I appreciate shown in this game. So, no, I appreciate you,
family. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. So that's my man Juan, the OKF doctor. He's in sports medicine, so I like to hear his perspective because he comes at it from a professional, from a position of medicine sometimes. So how he sees it is a little different, and you got to respect his expertise and where he's coming from. So that's why I like to hear my man Juan, the OKF doctor. Anytime we get like injuries, like he sees it, like he'll call it out, and I like to see what his perspective is. And he had a good perspective also on OG. So I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna do a couple of more keys. I'm gonna get back to the line really quick. So number 6, is neutralize the pick and roll attack. By the way, if you just joined the show, All right. I did my first 5 keys. The first one was win the first 2 games. You got to win that. 3-point efficiency is key. Protect the ball and move the ball. All right. Use Towns to set up the guards. Okay. Win the battle of the boards. By the way, OG Anunoby also takes place in a lot of these. I forgot to highlight his rebounding in the postseason. I think will come into play a lot. You know, helping us on the glass, especially if he's going to be matched up with Mobley, who sometimes can find himself in the paint area. And I think OG can also help, you know, Towns, and because we want to run through floor, he could act as if he's a guard as well, you know, in the offense. But and then here's another aspect where I think OG Anunoby will be key. You know, you have to neutralize the pick and roll paint attack. Okay, you have to neutralize the pick and roll paint attack. And I'm gonna talk more about the paint later, so I'll just keep this on pick and roll. But you know, when we're talking about pick and roll, we understand that, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are a team that, you know, can kill you in the pick and roll. Against the Detroit Pistons, it was definitely a battle of pick and roll versus pick and roll. And honestly, I made a mistake in my presentation. I didn't want to use this as a key, but I'm going to still go with it. I wanted to do bench points, honestly. Bench points is what I wanted to go to. I forgot. I took this out of my notes, but I didn't take it out the presentation. My bad. I'm still prepared to go through it, but you know, I didn't want to go this direction. The bench to me is more important than this, because I was going to combine this with the paint stuff, but whatever. Anyway, there's a couple of things that you can do to deal with the pick and roll attack. You know, hold on. What the hell happened to? Oh my god, I don't know what happened to my notes. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Hold on. All right, cool. Just screw it. I'm just gonna do what I do. I don't know what the hell happened to my. I wasn't prepared to do it. I thought I was doing the paint, but anyway, I mean the bench. Anyway, so the pick and roll. Some of the things we could do to neutralize the pick and roll attack is to do like switch up the matchups. Like for example, right? To the people who keep saying that you should put OG on Harden, that was a fire adjustment. I think if Dean Wade is on the floor, I would do that. I would put OG on Harden on Mitchell. Why? Because when they run the pick and roll, now you can switch it. And now you won't have the threat of the roller, because now OG has the size to deal with the roller. You could also blitz the pick and roll. The only problem with that is, you know, Cleveland can knock down the 3-ball. But against the Detroit Pistons, man, this is what they use to really put the Pistons in a lot of compromising positions, because the Pistons, they are a bunch of hacks. That's a fact. In the Detroit Pistons series, they went to the line 44 times in Game 7, 30 times in Game 6, 38 times in Game 5, 34 times in Game 4. Okay, and that's when the series began to turn, was after Game 3. All right, 28 times in Game 3. They started getting to the line. Why? Because they was putting Duran and all of those big guys, Stewart, bunch of hacks, in pick and roll. And Harden, with the beard flopping, with the head going up and down. You know, James Harden averaged 7.4 free throws a game. He led the Cavs in free throws. He is the main pick and roll ball handler. You're going to have to deal with him, and he is going to give you a lot of a lot to deal with if he's not, because he's very crafty. And I think the pick and roll defense is something that the Knicks are going to have to really step their game up with. It is definitely a major key, right? And I'm curious to see how we deal with it, because we did a good job of blitzing Maxey. I think the only difference here is that the Cavs, they are a better three-point shooting team than the Philadelphia 76ers, even though they're not shooting a great job from three in the playoffs. But to be fair, once again, I know Ty says, oh, they ain't play nobody. Detroit is nobody. Detroit is one of the best three-point defenses in basketball. So is the Toronto Raptors. So if you go up against two top 10 three-point defenses, your three-point percentage probably won't be the best. Right? Now, against us, they shot well, even though we won the game. So their pick and roll attack is the engine to their offense. Okay? And you're going to have to be able to recover, rotate, all right? And, watch out for James Harden foul bait, because he definitely will foul bait you to death. Really quickly, let me just see I'm going to see if I can sneak the bench. I'm going to try to sneak in my bench point, because my bench point is fire. But yeah, we'll stick with the pick. Maybe I'll save the bench point for tomorrow. I'll save that for tomorrow. Anyway, all right, number 7 is Hunt the weaker Cleveland guard defender. That is a major key. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because the Cleveland Cavaliers, their perimeter defense is trash. Okay? Oh, wow. I'm in the wrong. That's why. Hold up. I'm in the wrong folder. What the hell? I was in the wrong folder the whole time. Hold on. Let me see if it's still. Oh, no, it's still not here, though. Damn. I don't know where it's at. All right, cool. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Let me just stick to the script. Okay. So, Hunt the weaker Cleveland guard defender. Now, one thing I will say, they do got a bunch of guards that's going to try to defend. Strus is one of them. Merrill. Dean Wade, he spent a lot of time guarding Cade. Did a decent job. I wouldn't say he did a bad job. I just wouldn't say he did a great job either. And, I do think that the Knicks have so many weapons. I told you about the guards already. I'm putting them in flex options. I'm putting James Harden in pick and roll all day. All day, man. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell, because he has to score. Mikal Bridges is going to be very important. That's why I led with him as being one of the guards that are going to be important, because they have a tough job defending the perimeter. Then they go into a zone defense. Now, once they go into the zone defense, we get Towns in that hub offense with the flex options, backdoor cut screens, because one thing about playing zone, remember, you're not guarding your man, you're guarding an area on the floor. Okay? And so even if they switch to the zone, they hadn't seen flex option from the Knicks, and the new wrinkles that they've been working on this whole week, man. It's going to be a movie, but you have to attack these guys, man. That's all they did. How many times did we see Harris posting up James Harden? It's the mismatch created off the pick and roll, because the Detroit Pistons also have a pretty solid pick and roll that they run, and Jenkins can run it as well. Who else? Well, Duncan Robinson, he come off the screen, he's straight shooting it. I guess the Pistons didn't really have enough guards. Maybe some of their young guards that wasn't getting much opportunity, like Sasser and Holland. But, against us, we have this Jose can run off pick and roll. Deuce is going to come off pick and roll. Mikal's going to come off pick and roll. The Brunson Burner is going to come off pick and roll. Josh Hart's going to come off pick and roll. OG's going to come. It's just going to be so dynamic. You're not going to be able to hide anyone. And that is the versatility of this offense. Josh Hart was on the Roommates podcast today, and he was talking about, setting screens for Brunson and forcing mismatches, especially when he has the 5 on him. Cleveland doesn't really do that. You're more than likely will see Mobley or Allen guarding Towns. And like I said, 15 minutes out of the 48 minutes, they're playing the big guys, but the other 33 minutes, they're not on the floor together, right? It's one of them on the floor. So, there's opportunity there to get to the paint, to put pressure on their guards to have to rotate, recover. If they're going to help, more than likely they're going to blitz Brunson. All right. And it'll be interesting to see how we attack the weak guard. I'm curious to see. And I'm going to take a couple of more calls and then I'm going to wrap this up, the last 3 keys. Okay. Salute to my man, Buzzer Beater. All right. Hopefully I was in PowerPoint mode. Let me see. Let me check the live chat. Was I in PowerPoint mode? I don't even think y'all care. Salute to the chat. They just letting. I see y'all in the chat talking crazy. Let me get out of the live chat. If you want to keep the calls coming, 646-995-8389. These are the 10 keys as to why the Knicks will beat the Detroit Pistons in 5 games. I'm typing my bench point. I don't know what happened to my bench slide. I'm so mad about that. It's fire. I'm gonna have to save that for tomorrow. But yeah, 646-995-8389. If you want to talk a little bit about this game, what's going on with my ESPN app? We could talk about it. I mean, the game, not the game, about the 10 keys. Look at me. Okay. That game was tight. That game going down to the wire. That game is going down to the wire. That might be a 7-game series. Get my man Rock on the line. All right. Talking about these 10 keys. And by the way, if you didn't make your pick, you can call up to make your pick if you want to be a part of the Pick'ems Challenge. All right. What's good, Rock?
Sure, what's going on, okay?
Nothing much, man. Just giving you the 10 keys, man. That's the why we going to get this done. I say in 5, you say in 4. What's your thoughts?
I'm rolling with 3.5.
Damn. Okay.
Just
Well, the numbers, numbers on your side.
Yeah. One half is going to be a blowout, probably the closing game. Start to sit down for the rest of the game. That's 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling confident, man. Very confident.
I'm very confident. I don't think the thought is, are we going to lose the series? I think the thought is how many games we're going to win it in. I think that's where the contention is.
Yeah, the sooner the better. That's what I say.
Yeah, and it could go 4. I think we're going to get the first 2 games. This team is a terrible road team, and they couldn't win in Toronto. So what makes you think they're going to win in New York?
Right. Only thing I don't know is how many Knicks fans are going to be in Cleveland if their plan is going to half-ass work.
It's going to half-ass work because they said that they're limiting it to some zip codes in New York. So you already know what that means.
Yeah.
We getting up in there.
They got some damn nerve because they took 25 buses over there into Detroit, man.
Ooh, that was a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. It was us
in the
saying
goddamn woods. Yep. 100%. You're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a question that's kind of off topic though.
What's up?
Who's gonna ask to leave their team first? Cade or Ant-Man?
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Cade is young. He loves his team. He definitely loves his team.
They gotta stumble a little bit more, and management don't make any headway towards anything for him to get frustrated. They got a while to go.
Right. No, I'm with you. Definitely with you.
Yeah.
That was something I wanted to ask you. But go ahead. I forgot.
I know. Yeah. Durant was due for an extension, so this doesn't work well for him.
How much you gonna pay him?
Probably give him the veterans minimum, and give him an
Okay.
EBT card.
10
Damn.
seconds.
Yeah, that's what he
You say
deserves.
and the EBT card, but hey,
And
I mean
the
that's your
EBT
opinion.
card. Yeah.
All right, Rock, I appreciate you, my brother.
All right.
All right, salute. It's my man Rock from the ATL. Let me get my man Gino. Did Gino make his pick? I don't think so. (646-995-8389). If you want to make your pick, you can call up. Gino, what's good, man?
Yo, what's good with you, K?
Chilling, man. Just giving you the 10 keys as to why we gonna beat the brakes off the Cleveland Cavaliers.
So what we talking about right now?
Man, I want to know. Did you make your pick? What you got? You got the Knicks and what?
When is our deadline to make picks?
Man, look, tomorrow, blue and orange brunch. The last point. Or if you're a channel member, you could put it on the post right before the game. I got a post in the membership section.
All right, I'm still trying to make my picks right now.
Okay.
But I'll give you something for now so you could just have on record.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Knicks in 5.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna get back with you on that because I know you're a history guy.
Yes.
And you believe in history.
That's a fact.
So the last time we won our Eastern Conference championships was on our home floor.
Ooh,
so
yep, that is correct.
So I'm contemplating with 5 or 7 right now. But you could lock down 5 for now. But I'm gonna get back with you on that, probably tomorrow. What time is the brunch tomorrow?
Probably around 1 or 2 o'clock.
1 or 2, I bet. So just lock me down for 5. But they definitely go into the finals.
Yeah. I don't think that's a debate from nobody at this point. Not even Vegas.
Right, because the odds is crazy right now.
Yeah, 100%.
So, they just win game 1, and we good. But I'm just trying to determine if it's going to be 5 or 7, just because of past history.
No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna tap back in with you. I'm gonna just listen to the rest of the show.
All right, bet. Big time.
All right, later. All right.
No doubt. All right. Yeah, man. Call up to make your picks if you didn't make your picks yet, man. All right. 646-995-8389. Now, hopefully, y'all could saw the presentation. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm in PowerPoint mode. Wow. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, I close out. When I go to PowerPoint mode, I just close out the studio because I got my notes. Actually, I got notes on the computer and printed, but this is what I normally do. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it pushing, man. 10 keys, man. The numbers. I mean, all right. So if you want some more concerns, OG Anunoby did not have the greatest regular season matchup with Cleveland. I know it's the regular season. I know, it doesn't mean he's gonna have a bad matchup on the playoffs. But his assignment mostly will be Mobley. So, oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that. So he's gonna have to be able to redeem what he did in the regular. I hope that he's using it as bulletin board material. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't mean he's gonna have a bad playoffs. He is coming off the injury though, which is something to be a little cautious about. Mobley was at 16 a game, -2 against the Knicks. He played all 3 games. By the way, OG, the plus minus god, OG. This is another thing like with OG, right? He was a -1.7. And, OG normally is the plus minus god. The team was a -1.7. So we live with that. OG, his plus minus usually reflects, high value stuff. But yeah, I think OG gonna turn it around. And OG going off, you could make that another key. OG redemption arc. He about to fall out and give Cleveland, all that smoke. We get to the next one. Number 8, win the paint battle. So now, my number 6 was supposed to be a part of this. All right, because the paint battle is something that could be a key in every series, especially because we have one of the best paint defenses in basketball right now. And the bottom line is the Cleveland Cavaliers, they also do a pretty good job, at least in the regular season, of defending the paint. Maybe not so much of the postseason, like I said, because they're going up against teams that are prolific paint teams. Well, at least Detroit was a prolific paint team who puts initiative on attacking the paint. And so, the thought process here is that, the Cleveland Cavaliers are a team that, could try to take the initiative to get inside. But post All-Star break, or you could say James Harden trade, the Cleveland Cavaliers, in terms of their paint attack, I got the numbers right here for you. It dropped. It went from 52 down to 49. So they've been more of a finesse outside team. We kind of flipped the script because, we weren't much of a paint team like that during that same stretch. We were at 49 paint points. In the postseason right now, we're at 53.6. So we kind of, went in the opposite direction. And we've been looking to attack more in the paint. Now, I think the Hawks had a good paint defense. So we seen, no, that's cap. The Hawks did not have a good paint defense. That's why we killed them in the paint. But this will probably be the best paint defense we'll see, even though I think the Sixers were all right. I don't think the Sixers were that bad. And I'm curious to see how we navigate the paint. Now, here's why the paint is key. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, it's the regular season. Why are we looking at the regular season? Oh, no, not the regular season. I'm just going off of the stylistic matchups. They killed us from 3. Doesn't mean they're going to kill us from 3 in the playoffs. But in the regular season, we won the paint battle twice. 52 points in April. All right. And then in December, no, I'm looking at the wrong series. Sorry. Where the hell am I at? York, Cleveland. Oh man, do I got the wrong stat? Oh, I'm tight about that. Got the wrong damn stat. Nonetheless, against the Cleveland Cavaliers, dominating the paint is going to be a major key because they are a team that in the regular season, they kept us out of the paint. Both of us, we both did. We both gave up 42.7 paint points. So, it is going to be a battle. I think the paint is up for grabs. I think the team in this series that wins the paint battle will win the game. Okay. And which will inevitably lead to the series. So we got to continue to stay strong in the paint. I anticipate them putting on a strong effort as well. But, we are a very, very prolific paint team in these playoffs. And I think that dominating the paint on both sides is a major, major key. I'm sorry, I had the Atlanta Hawks numbers there. That was crazy. Anyway, take away Cleveland's clean shot diet. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? The Cleveland Cavaliers got one of the smoothest offense when they're rolling. Now, when they're not rolling, it looks like how it did in the last series against Detroit. But they do a decent job of getting good shots. And what you don't want is a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers taking good quality shots, because we've seen the dangers in the regular season of this. Like I said, they averaged 40% from 3 in the regular season against us. Of course, in in the playoffs, we're a different team. I know Ty's going to say we're a different team. I know he's going to say that. But based on the way we defend them against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Atlanta Hawks, we were leaving certain guys open from three. This is a team where you can't really leave anybody open from three. You're going to have to be able to defend your assignment. If you're going to help, you better rotate, because they got Sam Merrill shooting the lights out from three. Dean Wade can hit the three. I mean, they got too many capable three-point. Strus hits the three. You know, everybody on their bench comes in and hits the three. Schroeder can hit the three. So, you know, you're going to have to be able to withstand, you know, what they're going to bring to the table. You know, in some of the matchups they had in the postseason against a superior, not superior to us, but I'm just saying a defense, a 3-point defense that's superior in terms of where they rank their top 10 defense. In game 5, they shot 40% from three. Okay. In game 3, they shot 37% from three. Okay. Game 1, I'm sorry, in Toronto, they shot 50% from the three twice. And in these games I'm sharing with you, they won these games. Okay, so when they're getting these quality threes, they don't get it all the time. They didn't shoot the greatest in the play. I wouldn't say they shot the greatest. They only shot 34%. But in the games they won, they were lights out in those games. This is why you have to watch the games. Can't just box score warrior. You got to know where to look for the stat. And they can light you up in those moments. So we cannot allow Merrill to get them open threes, Dean Wade to get open threes, Strus to get open threes. In one of the games, he shot like 6 of 8 or 6 of 7 from the three-point line. And I'm like, whoa, there's no way you're going to win. So, yeah, you got to take that away. And, of course, that you could combine that with that pick and roll key that I had, because that is the engine of their offense. They set up a lot of offense because you're scrambling to help. And now these guys are getting clean shots. And I already gave you the playoff games. Forget the regular season games. The playoff games that they won where they were lights out. And all of these guys contribute because they all can shoot and make the three ball. Okay? And I'm going to move forward to the last one. All right. Stay true to the formula. Be yourself. That's it. That's all they got to do. All the Knicks have to do is just be themselves. Don't change it up too much unless you need to. Like if they want us to adjust, or if they put us in a scenario where we have to make an adjustment because we lose or because, you know, they're winning in the game, then make the adjustment. But honestly, I think that the Knicks could literally just be themselves and get the job done. You know, you're talking about 19 plus 19.4 point differential, man. All right, through 2 rounds. It's the best differential in NBA history since the 16-game format, man. You're talking about total domination. You're still that same team that was giving these guys the business. And as we all suspect as Knicks fans, that should continue. You should continue being able to give these guys the business. You understand what I'm saying? We was playing a certain brand of basketball, two-way basketball. Why get away from it? Don't get away from it. You know, keep moving the ball. You know, ball movement is a major key. Okay, ball movement is a major key. And I got move the ball, protect the ball, and move the ball. It's one of the major keys, right? Your net plus 20 net rating, man. All right, 59.6% effective field goal percentage. All right, 60% assist percentage in the playoffs. That's phenomenal. 19.1 assist ratio. All right, because in the playoffs you see more ISO. There's less assists usually in the playoffs. But here's the key: we have a 2 to 1 assist to turnover ratio, man. Know how fire that is? All right. Home court advantage. We won 30+ games in the regular season at home. This should continue in the playoffs. We shouldn't lose another game at home in the playoffs, especially in the finals when we know we're going to be on the road. Of course, we're going to respect our opponent because the Cleveland Cavaliers are a formidable foe. But don't forget who you are. And those are my 10 keys to victory. I got more. It's crazy. I got like 5 more. And I thought I picked the best 10. I don't think I picked the best 10. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use those for future shows. There's more. I'm like, where's this at? Where's that at? I don't know what the hell happened. Hold on. Let me jump out of PowerPoint mode. All right. So this is why I say the Knicks should win in 5 games, at least 5 games. At most, I should say, at most 5 games. All right. Oh, I had a good final slide too. Hold on, let me go. I didn't mean to go to research mode. My bad. So I had a good final slide. So the final verdict, and I'm gonna get to the phone lines. The Knicks have the formula. All right. This series is not about magic. All right. It's not about being a delusional Knicks fan. This team has the discipline and the execution, and us as fans, we believe that they will execute based off the efficiency we've seen thus far in these playoffs. Protect home court, rebound, defend the paint. All right, take away clean looks, attack the right matchups. Man, if the Knicks do that, they are shooing to win this game. You got to win the first 2 games. I don't think that's a non-negotiable. All right, because if you don't win one of the first 2 games, the series could go long. But that's all I want to say in closing, man. We have the formula. We can get it done. And I believe in these Knicks, man. All right. So if you didn't make your pick, call up to make your pick. All right. I'm curious to see exactly what you guys, who you guys are going with. All right. Just close out some of these windows. I'm going to get back to the phone line. 646-995-8389. Call up. If you didn't make your pick, make your pick. Okay. Or you can super chat, your pick as well if you want to. You can't call up. What's going on, Zach?
Yo, what's good, Karan?
Nothing much, man. I just went through the 10 keys, man.
You sure
what's
did?
your thoughts? What's your thoughts, man? Are you changing your pick?
Nah, like I said, first of all, I just want to apologize for last night when you called me. I was literally dead asleep. So I want to, I know what I said, but I do, I know Ty got triggered after my call, but I think he missed what I said. I was like, the likelihood is we win in 4 is what I said. I think it's probable. But, right. You got to give Cleveland, a team that scores 120 points a game on average, that one fighter's chance of winning one when they, if they shoot lights out for 1 game, there's nothing you can do about that. No matter what defense you play, no matter how much it's just impossible to beat that, especially in the NBA, right? If they have a game where they shoot 57%, they're not winning. It's just the way it works. Other than the other thing I wanted to say is to El Figgy and Cleo, we got you. If you felt disrespected, that means we all were disrespected on that call, and I want to apologize for that to you and say, the OKF is a family, and we're sorry for that.
What call were they offended by?
Trey's last night when he gave his number out to El Figgy.
Oh yeah. I had to tell him to chill. Yeah.
So that's why I was just and you'll see in the chat, Cleo was a little offended, and you can see El Figgy's not here tonight. So I'm sure that had a bit to do with it. So I just wanted to say, we're all here for you guys, ladies of OKFN, or as equal and as part of this family as anybody. So if you felt disrespected, we were all disrespected.
100%. And most of the ladies you see in OKFN, they already are married. So.
Yeah.
It is what it is, y'all. That's just listen, a woman who knows sports more than likely is gonna be taken because that's the type of woman you want. You feel me? So don't assume she's single. Ask the question.
Oh no, I agree with you. My wife was the mascot at University of Alabama. She was Big Al.
There you go.
I'm a big proponent of that. But No, I just want to, this is a family, and we're here. We're all together. We want to make this a respectful, enjoyable, pro Knicks. Let's go for the championship type of show. And we just appreciate you, Parag. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the members. And
I appreciate
but
all
other
of
than
y'all.
that, Knicks in 5. I'm not going to change my pick. Just with that fighter's chance of one game. I do respect all the slides that you put out tonight. I agree with you.
Thank you.
And then the one last thing is, I think there's a good chance that you see OG play on Jared Allen. So when they try to switch with a Harden screen, OG 100%. Then goes on Harden, and it doesn't either way. It's a lose-lose situation for Cavs. So I don't think that man for man, the Cavs don't match up well with us. Honestly, they don't.
Exactly. No, they don't. And honestly, I was leaning towards 4, but I never officially predict the sweep. I don't think that's you shouldn't officially predict the sweep. At least I don't think you should.
It's possible. It's possible. A probability, no.
I just wouldn't predict it though. I never did, and I don't think I will.
Joe, and then in the lifetime of the Knicks playing the Cavs, from 1978 was the first time we met them in a series to now, they've only won 2 games in all 4 series. So we're 12-2 in the playoffs against the Cavs.
That's deep.
So that's a pretty good statistic.
I didn't go back that far.
Yeah, it goes back to 78. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That means they're doomed. That's why, you know what? That's why I keep saying I don't have no faith in no Cleveland team. The Browns, the Guardians, none of them. Okay. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Cleveland should be known for is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. After that, just leave it be.
That's it. And if LeBron wasn't from there or wasn't playing there, they would have never won.
Nothing. They wouldn't. I mean, that was the first. This is only the second time they've ever made it to the conference finals, and that's only because of LeBron.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
anyway, I do appreciate you, Zach, man. Great call, and thank you for looking out for the OKF ladies, man. Big time.
Always. It's always a family, man. We appreciate you, Karam. Best content on the net, and let's go Knicks.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Peace.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my slides, man. I had 5 more slides that I wanted to do. It was it was a bench point, and it was another point. I had, but it's all good. I'm gonna use those for because we got the preview shows where I always get 3 keys, so I'm just gonna use them for those shows. But I mean, it's just so much information, man, that the hardest part is condensing it to try to make a point, because you could just get lost in information world. Not just stats, just like certain intricacies of the game. I didn't even get into the game 2. Certain things that were pretty interesting. Dean Wade, I didn't even talk about the Tyson kid. The Tyson kid. I'm not spooky in the woods, but I'm telling you right now, he could be a difference maker in the series if the Cavs use him. The problem is the Cavs haven't really been using him throughout these playoffs. I don't know why. He was averaging 13 a game in the regular season. In the playoffs, Tyson's played 14 games. He's played 12.9 minutes. He's only averaging 4.3 points. Like, that's wild. This is a kid that was averaging 13 points. I mean, what are they doing? Can someone explain that to me? I don't know. That's weird. But I'm curious to see what he would bring to the table against us. Even though he was a -2, but he had a good plus minus against us. Dean Wade also caused a little bit of trouble on the backside, on the glass, a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not scared of Dean Wade at all, but he was someone that was a little interesting as well. And Tyson was shooting 56% from the field. Yeah, James Harden only played us 1 game. He had a good 1 game against us. And that's really it, though. I mean, Larry Nance Jr. had a good game against us, too. He had 10 points on 57% shooting, and he hit 2 threes against us. But he's on the injury report. Maybe he'll play. I don't know. He was dealing with an illness. We'll see. You just never know with the playoffs. Usually, also, they wait to the end of time to let you know. But those are the 10 keys, man. Look, I'll be back tomorrow. all right, for the Blue and Orange brunch. And where there's smoke, there's fire. I do appreciate you guys. And now you got the talking points. You can let your friends know. I'll be back tomorrow. Until next time, as always, let's go Knicks.